Welcome to the Advocator Show. I am your host today, DJ Star. The Advocator Show is designed to bring awareness to the community about issues that affect society as a whole, as well as to highlight local businesses and talent coming in and out of Western New York. Today's guest is Terrance Hurd. Don't turn that dial. We'll be right back.
Now, Krista, make sure you stay with her the whole time. She's new to the country. This is her first day. This is a brand new country. It's a whole different culture.
Gonna be okay.
But now make sure you stay with her the whole time. I'll be here right after school to pick you up.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ignore my mom. She's so annoying. She's totally freaking out about this whole thing. She freaks out about everything. She always does that. Ugh. Ignore my mom. So, you ready for your first day in the wicked castle of doom? I mean, like, seriously, it's so boring. I don't know how they could put us through this, like, every single day. How many schools do you have in your village? None.
Welcome back to the Advocator Show. I am your host for today, DJ Star. We have a great show lined up for you all today. Our guest is Terrance Hurd. He is running for Ellicott Council District Council member. So we're glad to have Terrance to the show. How you doing, Terrance?
Hello, how you doing today?
I am doing fabulous.
Great, Star, great.
All right. So give us a little brief background about yourself.
Well, I was born here in the city of Buffalo. I was raised here in Buffalo and spent most of my life here in Buffalo.
Okay.
I went to Seneca High School growing up, and after I graduated from Seneca, I went to Hilbert College, Hilbert St. Bonaventure, to where I received a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
After leaving, graduating from Hilbert College, I went on to become an officer here at Erie County with Erie County Medical Center. And then after that, I would become a teacher here in the city of Buffalo.
Oh, wow. You a teacher?
Yes,
okay,
I was a teacher here in Buffalo.
So how was that experience for you?
That was a beautiful experience for
Was
me.
it?
Yeah, teaching was a great experience, dealing with the kids, the teachers, administration. I fought hard for programs here at Seneca High School to keep maintaining them, the vocational programs, because I felt that time that all kids, you know, wasn't really cut out for the higher educational goals, but as vocational goals, they fit in perfect as far as mechanical, electrical, and CAD/CAM. Those goals, you know, and people make very good checks, you know, in their lifetime.
Yes,
you know,
they do.
Very successful careers.
Because everybody is not meant for college, correct?
Everybody.
So it's good to have those vocational.
I hate to say that everybody isn't meant for college, but everybody meant for some type of training, some type of college, and I believe that God gave everyone a skill. And if you use that skill to your ability, you'll have a very long in life, very long and successful life.
Good for you. So talk about you running for Ellicott District. You came from, you know, a good background. You went to school. You taught in the school systems. So what brought you here?
The Ellicott District. Well, I left Buffalo for a while, and then I came back. It was for 5 years. And after 5 years, I came back and I seen that Buffalo was in a worse condition than what it was before I left. Before I left Buffalo, as I said, I taught in the school system, and also was an officer at Erie County Medical Center, where I dealt with a lot of problems in society, you know, help people out there. And I think my life has been dedicated to helping people and helping people with their lives, and I know that God had a purpose for me in that direction. So after I left there, I taught the school system, and then after the school system, I took a job with General Motors, and that was in Georgia. I was a supervisor there at General Motors, and as my supervision skills, I dealt with people, worked with people, and from there the plant closed. And I knew that God had no direction for me, and I became a correction officer following my career goal. As a correction officer, within 6 months' time, I was promoted. My promotion went from a correction officer to the deputy, how can I say it? I was promoted to the assistant to the deputy warden of the prison. And there I handled policies, I handled the skills with the correctional officers and their hiring and termination of their work there. I handled the administration skills there as a correctional officer.
So you're a natural leader then?
I believe what God made me.
You think so?
I believe what God made me.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Good, good.
So then I received another promotion. My next promotion went over to the probation department. Went to probation department for the state of Georgia, where I supervised thousands of convicted felons, all felony cases. And then I received another promotion from that because of my skills with the probation department. Became a court liaison for the state of Georgia. As a court liaison, I handled thousands and thousands of felony cases, all felony cases. I work closely with judges, attorneys, and private attorneys, and rendered my decision which way a case should be decided to the judge. And from that decision, I handle people's lives. I deal with people's lives, and these people look for me for direction. I did intervention for them. And with the direction of the people, I gave my recommendation to a judge whether a case should be decided, whether it should be sentenced to prison, time served, house arrest, detention center, diversion centers, and ankle monitoring. And also I dealt a lot with drug courts. So I send people to drug court for their drug habit problems so they can try to resolve these issues and make them productive citizens in society. From then, I was appointed by the Department of Corrections, and I was sent to a day reporting center in Georgia. They spent a couple $1 million in this facility because down there they had a 3-strike law, 3 felony convictions, you could spend life in prison. And these people had 3 felony convictions. They was people from the age of 18 years old all the way to grown adults. And by helping these people here, I was able to work with them one-on-one. I supervised over 250 convicted felons. And I work with different programs. And this was a new program, so I had to devise this program and put it together. So I worked with, I called the Atlanta Board of Education, got them involved with it because of my education background. I knew how to work with the teachers. We contacted Emory University, and I brought counselors in for the offenders that was there at the program. So out of
the programs that you've helped develop in the system, what some are the success stories that came out of that?
Success stories. Best success stories I can tell you would be Family Night. Family at Night is a program that I adapted to bring the families in to help fix the progress of the families, the people, because these offenders, they needed more help. They needed more help than just the judicial system. They needed family help. They needed. I brought in religious studies. Religious studies came in on Fridays to where they will have devotion to Christ, devotion to themselves and to their families, where they actually could say, my son, my father, my mother is growing now. I can see the change in them. I can see that they want to do things. And they need the encouragement by the families to help them fix these problems. And we also did job resource. I worked with the Department of Labor so that they can actually go out there and find jobs. There's programs out there that has jobs for convicted felons. These programs, there's government society programs, and these programs, they give them a percentage off for the employer so that they can hire them and they can go ahead and bring them into society.
That's phenomenal. You're a busy guy. You did a lot.
It's a lot more I've done. You know, like I said, I dedicated my life to the people, and that's what I want to do here.
So it brought you here today.
Yeah, it brought me here today.
For Ellicott District.
Yes, I'm here for Ellicott District because I know I have the tools that's needed. Through my background, I know that with the policing background, I know I've been equipped very well to deal with police situations. I was a post-certified officer. I had a badge, a gun, a vest, and
You've been there, done that.
I've been here. I made a lot of rest in my time, but my rest was to help the people. And what I want to do is prevent those things. As a correctional officer, I don't want to see our people, the people of Ellicott District here or the city of Buffalo, being locked up unjustly or for their crimes. I found that if we can prevent these crimes by dealing with these people, if we can prevent these crimes, we can solve the issues that are of society. The issues are poor job rate. We have a poor economy. Erie County is ranked 271st of all the counties in the country as far as job rate performance. And from this, we have a very poor solution about finding jobs here and curing our economy.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to a break right now. We'll be right back.
The road I see is fair and free, where people can travel wherever they please, and children can eat and have shoes on their feet, and not be afraid when they walk on the street. It's not like there has to be rainbows and bunnies, but streets full of people are dancing like dummies. But freedom to live, to learn, and to play, to just be yourself and think your own way. The road I see may sound crazy to you, but hopefully, someday, you'll see it too.
Welcome back to the Advocator Show. I am your host for today, DJ Star. If you are just tuning in, we have a guest here. His name is Terrance Hurd, and he is running for Ellicott District Council member seat. So welcome back, Terrance.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So we're talking about why you decided to run for Ellicott District, and you were just giving me some background of what led you up here today. So what else you wanted to tell us?
Yes, my background is basically my history, but I want to bring that forth so that we can go forward in the city of Buffalo. I helped a lot of people in Georgia. During my time in Georgia, a lot of people know me. I was on television constantly. In my courtroom, I dealt with a lot of stars. I dealt with a lot of people, a lot of critical issues, all felony cases. It was been anything from young girls prostitution to the people who were afflicted with AIDS that was passing it on during the prostitution. I dealt with people who burglaries, home invasions, homicides. I dealt with everything. And it's the same thing that affects today's society here in Buffalo. And I feel that if we can change the path of thinking, if we can change the way they think, if we can change society here, those things wouldn't happen. I'd like to prevent the incarceration that's going on here in the city of Buffalo. You know, we should look at our officers as caregivers of this community and not as victims or not looked at as the criminal. So what we want to do is develop relationships between the people and the officers. That's one thing.
Got to build that trust between the officers and the people. That's what that problem is.
We have to build a trust.
Yeah.
And one of the plans that I have is adopting a means of putting officers back into the school system so they can have a one-on-one basis with the children in the schools, so that when they see these kids out acting up or something may happen, being children, that you don't have a group of officers put them on the ground at gunpoint. What we want to do,
abusive,
they should be able to know our society. The kids should be able to go to the officer inside the school and say, listen, we have a problem on my street, we have a problem that's going on here, or I'm being bullied. And they should be able to go to the officer, and the officer should be able to know that child, so that when that interaction does occur, that they have that one-on-one relationship already, so they say, okay, I know this kid. We know what this kid is comprised of. We know what this kid can do, and not put our kids in harm's way, our children.
Excellent. So you are a resident of the Ellicott District, and if you were to win, what would be one of your immediate concerns?
My immediate concerns is jobs. Jobs is the reason why we're in this position now. My immediate concerns is we have a lot of organizations here in Buffalo.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot of organizations, and two organizations I can name is Grassroots and Unity. They're great organizations that's here in Buffalo, but we all know that people don't get along with each other that's in these organizations. The problem is that they had issues concerning about who backed who for a position, who was pushing somebody for this other position. And what I want to do, I feel that I'm neutral. I feel that I can work with both organizations, all organizations, private organizations, and I can bring these groups together, bring people together who want to work for the better of society. When I walk down Jefferson Avenue, it shouldn't look like the way it looked. When I go down Sycamore, it shouldn't look like it. When I go down Broadway, Genesee, Jefferson, this is the place. Well, to me, it looked like a graveyard. The old businesses that was once here when this place was viable, and now it's deteriorated. It deteriorated to a point to where nobody wants to live here. When I talk to people who live in the suburbs about coming here to the city, and I did a lot of studies with them and talked to them and took a lot of charts and wrote it down and talked to them, it's all about the same thing. They scared to come into the city, or they scared to shop here, or they don't know what's here. They want to bring their children here because they heard on the news that somebody got shot, or was a stabbing,
or the school
or a drug raid, or the school system. Very important.
That plays a role.
Very important. So I feel I'm a person who can work with these organizations, work with people of these organizations who want to better our society and our community. And that's what I'm going to dedicate myself to do. And that's what I have done.
But you also have a, in your campaign, you had the urban blight, where you ask your neighbors or families to take pictures some of the areas in the neighborhoods?
Okay, what I did was an early listening tour. My listening tour was to go knock on doors and talk to residents. I knocked on thousands of doors here in the city of Buffalo.
Okay.
Yes, and yes, my feet do hurt.
That's what I'm doing.
I knocked on thousands of doors. That's
And
my
how were you
voice.
received?
How were I received? 99% of people said they'll vote for me. 99% of the people. I can
That's good
honestly
to
say
hear.
that because
Okay.
everybody wants change. Everybody wants somebody who's going to be there, that's accountable, that they can reach, that's going to be reachable.
But you know what? I'm going to stop you right there, though. But you're running against Pastor Darius Pridgeon, or Councilman Darius Pridgeon.
I don't feel as if I'm running against Darius Pridgeon. Bishop Pridgeon is a great man at the church. I don't feel I'm running against him. But I feel I'm running for the people of Ellicott District. I feel that the people of Ellicott District, this district has been neglected for decades. Nobody can contest to that more than I can, because I remember when I was younger, I remember seeing Juneteenth going down Jefferson Avenue. I remember seeing businesses, trucks. I remember seeing the Apollo Theater right here. I remember seeing what it used to be a movie theater. I remember seeing people happy, you know. I remember when Griffin had that campaign going out, Buffalo Talking Proud, you know.
Yes, I remember that.
We don't have that right now. We don't have that anymore. All we're talking about is the medical campus that's going on right now, and everybody taking posts in that. How many people of color is going to be hired for these projects? How many people of color is working on these projects now? We look at the projects going on downtown at the Harbor Theater, Harbor Center. The Harbor Center got less than 3% minorities working there. That's blacks, Hispanics. I mean, nobody's speaking up for these things. Nobody is going to bat for us. I believe as a councilman, I will stand up and I know that I will address these issues. We need more of us over there. The reason why we're in the position we're in right now, because we're not working. If we work, like I said many times, I seen young black men stand in the corner all night long in the freezing cold, sub-zero weather, and sell drugs. I see them out there standing on corners 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And
they're businessmen.
They're businessmen.
They're counting money. They do
they do math like clockwork.
Like this.
They do that. They know where the money is at, who owe who, and everything.
That's right.
And if they can stand out there that long, they can go out there and do construction.
I agree.
They can be trained. They can do construction. Like I said, the college isn't for everyone, but vocational training, I believe they can have a substantial life, and I believe they can have a meaningful life and be productive in society. Not everybody's bad that does these things. I don't believe everybody want to go grab a gun and shoot somebody. I don't believe everybody want to go hurt somebody or burglarize somebody's house. So
they're just, in your opinion, they're just angry because
they're misled.
They're misled, you think?
They're misled, uneducated, misled, and the focus should have been on them when their time was there in high school, when their time was there in schools, and parents working 2 or 3 jobs to try to make ends meet.
So
because
no one's home to help them with their homework and things of that nature, and hold them accountable, you think, right?
That's a great part of it. That's a great part of it. It's not about being accountable. It's about being loved. It's about showing them that there can be a future. It's about showing that there is a horizon.
Right.
When you walk out your door, when you talked about the urban blight earlier, I knocked on the door and talked to residents. These residents feel they had to take their own personal pride into protecting their neighborhoods. They have a house across the street or next door to them that's been vacant, abandoned, stripped out, and that people are squatting there. And what they want to do is protect their own interests, but they want their neighborhood to look nice. So they're taking on the roles of police and making sure nobody goes into these homes, which is dangerous. We don't want that. They've been complaining for years about getting these houses torn down or revitalized, and nothing's being done.
All right, hold that thought. Real fast here. Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
Good morning. I'm here to read you your rights.
My what?
We are all free and equal. Don't discriminate. You have the right to life.
You have the right to life and to live in freedom and safety.
You have a right to education. You have a right to your own things.
You have the right to social security. You have the right to play.
You have the right to democracy. You have the right to asylum.
You have the right to take responsibility.
And no one
and nobody can take these rights and freedoms away from you.
Why are you doing this?
You have a right to know.
Welcome back to the Advocator Show. I am your host for today, DJ Star. If you're just tuning in, we are here with Terrance Hurd. He is running for Ellicott District Council member seat. Welcome back, Terrance.
Thank you, Star. Thank you for the introduction.
Okay, so before the break, we were talking about some of the problems that are happening in the Ellicott District, and you want to provide some solutions. So give us some examples.
Okay, quickly going over some of the problems in the Ellicott District. Right now, Dr. Cash, our new superintendent, through his studies, this shows that of 9th graders, 1 out of every 100 that's going to 9th grade, only 50% will graduate. So 50% of our children are going to graduate from high school. And then those that graduate from high school, only 1 will graduate from college.
Wow.
That's horrible. That shows that shows our education system that's going on right now. That's showing the lack of attention to our children and the hopelessness that they have.
Right.
They don't see a future. We got to develop that future back with them. Also, the graduation rate is 50% then. So we're losing half our kids from the beginning. They're going out to the streets to sell drugs, or the people that do graduate from high school, I see them say they want a better life, so they leave the city of Buffalo. A lot of people relocated down to Charlotte, down to Atlanta, to Florida. They're going to other regions of the country, which we need them right here to stay here. We need to focus on here and develop these areas. They go to places they feel is better for them. And why do we want them to leave? We want to keep them right here. We want to establish a safe haven for them here. We want to establish a community of jobs. We want to establish a community where they can raise their children. Great jobs, careers.
That's right. Careers.
Also, we should model ourselves after the Harlem Zone project. There, at the Harlem Zone, they're enforcing the beliefs that we need to address here at our school system. I don't believe that.
You said the Harlem Zone?
Yes, it's it's a model that they use in Harlem that addresses the needs. Yes, Harlem, New York, right? And also, we have the Say Yes program, which is a very great program here, and that I support. And I think that we need to move forward with that as an educator and put our beliefs towards that. I believe that we got to address these issues. We are the 3rd poorest city in the country of our size, with over 250,000 people. Buffalo is the 3rd poorest country, 4th poorest city. And being the 3rd poorest city, what's being done? Our leaders don't have an economic development plan that's here set aside for us, and that's one thing that I impose is an economic development plan. I've been closely talking to the professors at University of Buffalo, other colleges, reaching out to Buff State and Damon about developing a development plan. What I want to do is go to Governor Cuomo, get our community organization together, private organizations to get together, us, the people, and address the Buffalo Billion Program. The Buffalo Billion Program is made for Buffalo. It says Buffalo on it. How come it's not being put in our neighborhoods, in our districts? What we want to do is get some of that money allocated for us. We don't want to have to go to these organizations, or we don't need to have a contest to bid on some money so that we can get our business project done. It shouldn't have been done that way. What should be done is that we should be able to go to them and work with them in Hoco and about getting the money allocated right here so that we can build right here. We need strip malls on Jefferson Avenue. We need strip malls on Broadway,
the way it used
Tennessee Street, the way it used to be. We need to be minority businesses. Also, we have a lot of vacant land out there on Sycamore Street, a lot of vacant lands on William Street. All these vacant lands and lots, you know, that's left for commercial. We got Solar City, which is a great project. It's going to be very good for this community, but it's out in South Buffalo. Let's put it right here in our community so people can have a place to go to for work, so people can have careers. They can walk to work, catch the bus to work. There's a lot of things not being addressed here, and that need to be done. It need to be pushed here. And the reason why I feel it's not being pushed because the people that's in office right now have other agendas. I want to be the person that's going to work for the community and work for the people here. And this is, I feel very strong about this. We need to develop it right here. We have to stand up as a people. Our coalitions have to get together. Organization has to work together. We have to want. We can't blame nobody else but ourselves for the problems that we're having right now. Because if we don't stand up right now and address these issues, I don't feel that the councilman right now is addressing the issues, or maybe he's addressing other issues that he's concerned about. But I'm concerned about the people.
Pridgeon, correct?
Yes, I'm concerned about Darius Pridgeon. Like I said, I'm always going to run a positive campaign. I'm not going to say anything bad about the opponents that's in the election. You know, I'm very proud of the elections, how they went so far, and I'm very proud of what happened over in the Maston district. You know, even Wingo won the Master District. You know, he worked hard. His team worked hard. But everybody in that whole district worked hard. Sharon Bell and Copman, she worked very hard also. Yvette, she worked hard. She won a great campaign, but you know, she tried with what she had. And what we need to do is keep it open like that. And I appreciate it being open like that, giving everybody a chance to speak and everybody a chance to go ahead and vote. But right here in the Ellicott District, I'm standing firm that we need a new leader here in the Ellicott District. I believe that we need somebody who can work with other council members, somebody who can work with the organizations, and somebody who can work with the people, and that's going to be for the people. Okay, so how can the people contact you? They can contact me at terrancehurd.com. They can contact me at letyourvoicebeheard.com. And also, we're going to leave an illustration for other contact information. We need support right now, and we need people to come together, and we need that type of unity here in the Ellicott District. Is there anything else you want to tell the viewers on what you're doing as far as your campaign? Okay. Right now, I'd just like to say that Buffalo is in the minus right now. We seriously need to come together and think about what our future is going to be. I was a member at True Bethel Church for a long time, and I left the church. I was sad to say at the time, but I'm moving on what God told me to do. And my vision is having a working district, working people. It's even on the west side. The campaign is basically about bringing people together, organizations together, so we can move forward. The separatism is not going to play a part in our future anymore. We can't allow it to do that. On the west side of Buffalo, they had a meth clinic there. I talked to residents out there, and it broke my heart that in the meth clinic that people are going there and using, they having dirty needles, and they dropping needles on the ground. And it's by a bus stop areas. And the residents and the business owner are complaining. They're going around and picking up dirty needles and putting them in bags, which is very unsanitary and unsafe for the people who's picking them up, so that their children won't get stuck with the dirty needles and be contaminated. So it's issues like this that we need to address. You also mentioned earlier about having some of the bus shelters for the people as well. That was important to you too. Thank you. The bus shelters, that's one thing I talked to the elderly people going into the elderly homes and knocking on doors. They told me that they have a problem with the sidewalks, the cracks that lift up, and in the wintertime, it gets warm, then it get cold. It get warm, the water melts, and then it get cold, it freezes over. They fall. I had a woman that broke her arm and said nobody from the city came in and talked to her about it. We also, and we also have issue with the bus stops. They out there freezing at the bus stops. Now, I go to a neighboring city like Toronto, they have shelter bus stops, and these shelter bus stops have covers on them, they have heat in them, they have lights on them, they even have Wi-Fi in them. Oh my God, that's great. It's great. And we look at the elderly people here at the bus stops. They had it's a pole in the ground with a bus stop and with a lot behind it with wind blowing on them. That's unsafe, unsanitary, and need to be addressed. And I just feel that these issues are not being addressed here. Okay, thank you so much, Terrance, for coming here and introducing yourself to the public, to the city of Buffalo. I wish you well. And audience, this is it. That was fast, wasn't it? Wasn't it fast, Terrance? I think it was. Well, good luck in your endeavors. All right. And this is it. I'm your girl, DJ Steph. This is the Advocator Show. Thank you. See you next time.